Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon! Hello, welcome to Ball & Burgers! It's your good friend, Colin! Woo! He asked an awesome question yesterday, and he listed off his top 10 Pokemon of all time, favorite. And I'm gonna try and take the challenge and answer his question. Start off with number 10. My number 10 is Sandile. Sandile is Generation 5. So what I think about him is he's really cool because he's ground and he's dark. That's the first time that I believe this combination was brought together. And all his evolutions are really cool in my opinion. I think he's really powerful, and it's really good that he has dark moves and ground moves. I don't know, I just like his evolution thing. It's really cool. And then he gets bigger, and eventually in his final evaluation, Crocodile, he gets to stand up. It's really cool. Number 9 is Sceptile, and he is a grass starter. I think he just looks really cool. This is, in my opinion, the reason why he's on this list is because he's the first grass starter that I've actually really enjoyed and really liked playing, and they actually made him decent and really good and really versatile. His first starting is Trico, I don't remember, and then his middle is River, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, and then he evolves into Sceptile, and I think he looks just really cool. He looks like a badass. He's I like the whole attitude kind of looking thing that Trico has. At the beginning, Trico's kind of sitting there with a straw in his thing. He's pretty chill, whatever, don't care. And then there's a second one, he's getting a little bit more attack, but his final Sceptile, he has a little smirk on him, I know I'm, good luck, I know I'm going to beat you. Number 8, and that is going to be Sheiks. And Sheiks is the 4th generation. Sheiks is a electric dark Pokemon. I think that's really cool. It's like a dog. He's kind of like a dog, cat, sphinx kind of thing. I don't know, but I like it. It's some nice movesets. It's really fast, which I really like, and it's a really powerful electric Pokemon. And I think that is the first time that an electric Pokemon has 3 or 2 evolutions. I don't believe in the 3rd generation there was any electric that had 3 evolutions. Oh, there's Mikey's favorite, Ampharos. That was the first time, but I don't know. I think it just looks cool. If I had to have a Pokemon now, and it'd be Sheiks, because it's a dog thing. I think it'd be really loyal, and it's just really cool looking. The final evolved form just looks like a badass. A bear. How often do you have a bear? There's only one other Pokemon that looks like a bear. So I don't know. I think it's really cool to actually have Pokemon that are mimicked off of real animal in the real world animals, but they have their own twist to it, and it's an ice bear, a polar bear. Number 6 is from Generation 2, and he is a ground Pokemon, and that is Donphan or Phanpy. These Pokemon, I think it's a really cool Pokemon. I didn't really know about this Pokemon when I first started playing until I got Pokemon Stadium 2, and there's a mini game with him. Where you have to go around the track. I think this Pokemon is super, super, super powerful. It's I think it's it almost beats Diglett out as more as powerful for the ground. And the reason why I like this Pokemon is because it takes dedication to get him. You can get him super late in the game after the 8th gym, but you can get him early before you even get to the first gym. So the way it is on the first route, right after you get past your starting town, there's a little as you're halfway through it, there's a little building. You walk through it, and then you walk through the building. Then there's a small little grassy area, and this is when the Pokemon first introduced night and day mechanic, and you can only catch Phanpy, which is the first form of Donphan, and you can only catch him super early in the morning, and then if his percentage of showing is actually really low still. He's really hard to find, but you can find him. And that's what I like about Donphan, is it's for more of the hardcore people that care about their team. It's a good Pokemon, and to have the patience and time and energy to actually try and get this Pokemon early enough to actually train it into just beefy Pokemon. Now we're getting into number 5, and that is Whismur, which is a straight normal Pokemon. The only normal kind of Pokemon that I think is really good. He is from Generation 3, so Ruby and Sapphire, and I think he's a really underrated Pokemon. Like, when you first see him, he's just this small little pink creature. They're like, oh my god, he shows up in caves. He's like the equivalent of Zubat in caves. He just shows up everywhere in a certain cave, and people get like frustrated or whatever. But if you take the time to sit there and give him the experience and train him, he can turn into a super powerful normal type Pokemon. And normal really doesn't have that many weaknesses. I mean, the only one that I can really think of is fighting. So I think he's a good Pokemon, just underrated. Not a lot of people use him. I could be wrong. I just don't ever see anybody use him. But I think he's just a great, fantastic Pokemon. When he evolves, he gets super strong, a lot of HP, super strong moves. And I just think he's a well-rounded Pokemon. Number 4 is from the 4th generation, the one that I least like, and that is Gibble. It is a dragon Pokemon, and then it's a dragon ground. So I think that's really cool, and I think he's just really cool. I think he's one of the more realistic dragon-looking Pokemon. He's one of the first more realistic dragon Pokemon, in my opinion. Other people would say that there was Salamence, which, I mean, it kind of looks like a dragon, but like his early evolutions don't really look like a dragon. But Gibble, he kind of like looks like a dragon the whole way through. I don't know. He learns really powerful moves, really dragon powerful moves, which is really nice. I don't know. I think he looks really cool, just really badass. He's got like these wings on the side that he like stick out. He's got fins and stuff like that. So it's like a cross between like a shark and a dragon. I think he just looks really cool. Like it's a shark on land that has legs and stuff like that. It's really cool. He's just a badass looking Pokemon. Oh, now we're getting into the top 3. Top 3. I can't wait. These 3 Pokemon hold a special place in my heart, and I just love these Pokemon. So let's go right into it, and we're going into number 3, and that is Eevee. And not just Eevee, but all the evolutions as well. The evolutions. I think that is really cool that you can determine what type of Pokemon the Eevee you want it to be. Like, oh, I don't have any electric. I need an electric. And then they use a electric stone or thunderstone to get a Jolteon. It's really cool how you can choose the pathway. But what really got me to really respect and like Eevee, just Eevee, is there's a Pokemon episode. It's called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's from the 1st generation, and it was a group of brothers. There was 3 brothers, and they each had a different evolution. The one had Vaporeon, one had Flareon, and one had Jolteon. And then the 3rd brother, the 4th brother, he was the youngest, and he had an Eevee. And he didn't want to evolve Eevee. He didn't like know what to do. He's like, I don't know. I like Eevee though. And that episode really hit me hard. Is like, yeah, you can change into so many different things, but like, be true to who you are. And that's kind of why I kind of respect Eevee itself. Is like Eevee trainers, especially who just keep the Eevee. It's like he's not necessarily good in his own way. He's okay. He's not an amazing, crazy Pokemon. It's more about his evolutions that people are about. But I still respect people who keep them in the normal mode, and that's why I kind of like respect Eevee, and that he can turn into a whole bunch of things, but you know, you have to start from something. Now we have number 2, which is a personal favorite of mine. This comes from Generation 3. So Generation 3, Routes. That's one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. Whenever I played Ruby and Sapphire, that's the one that I mainly played the most, would be probably like the 2nd gen. So I was a big Crystal fan. I love Crystal, Pokemon Crystal. So I would play Crystal, and then Ruby was my next, like those 2 games. Ruby and Crystal were my games. I love those games. And Routes came in the Ruby, and I would always make sure that I found one to catch him beginning of the game, because he was such a good Pokemon later on in the game. He was Psychic, pure Psychic back then, and it was just, I don't know, I think he, in my opinion, is better than Alakazam. Just an opinion, he may not be, but I loved him. I loved his movesets, the things that he could learn. You could dump a whole bunch of TMs or HMs if you wanted in there, but he also learned some decent moves too. And now they're giving him like 2 separate evaluations depending on if it's a male, female. And then he also has a Mega Evolution, which is pretty sweet. So I personally like Routes just because he just looks cool too. He like looks timid, but then when you evolve him, he gets like looking more cool, like more like, I mean, girly, I guess some people say, but at the same time, like bad ass, like powerful, powerful, powerful. So it doesn't matter if like you look girly or whatever, you can still have powerful moves and like break the normal. Like people, like when I first saw it, I was like, what kind of Pokemon is this? And then I got my ass beat by it. So it's like, whoa, like don't judge a book by its cover. So that's why I like Routes. It may look timid, but I still like it. We're getting down to it, nitty gritty. Here's my number 1 Pokemon. And it may surprise you, it may not, but it's not an actual, like, legit, like, actual Pokemon, single Pokemon. It is all the water starter Pokemon. I know you may say that it's cheating, that you pick a whole thing, but every time I start playing a Pokemon game, like, when it first comes out, I don't pick fire, because everyone, like, loves fire or anything like that, and I don't pick the grass. I go straight for the water Pokemon. And I like all the water Pokemon except for one. I like all the water starters except for one. And that would have to be Generation 4. And I never really got into the Generation 4. I never really liked it, but that is the Piplup, the Piplup. I did not like Piplup at all, because when I think of water, I think of someone that's a little bit like faster. Like water is supposed to be fluid and fast, and they paired him up. They gave him a dual type of water and steel, and he was just so slow, and that's what just drove me nuts. He's the only one, but I love everyone else. Like Blastoise, great. Feraligatr, freaking awesome. And then, who is number 3? Mudkip. Oh, Swampert was just cool looking, like, coming like a swamp monster. Oh my god, looks super sweet. Number 5, Generation 5. I never really played Generation 5, but that was like the Oshawott, like the otter looking thing. I never really got into Gen 5. I have only played it through once, and then just put it down and never played it again. I think it was just the storyline just kind of turned me off with Gen 5. But other than that, like, and then Generation 6, the newest one, is just, I love Frogadier. Frogadier is super cool. He's like a ninja. Like, how awesome is that? And he's got, like, he's a dark water, and, like, that makes sense. He's super fast because he's a ninja. It just makes sense. So, I like all the water starters. It's, like I said, that's the first starter that I pick when I pick up a brand new Pokemon game. I always pick the water starter no matter what. I don't do anything else. It's the water starter. That was my list, guys. Hopefully Jake will make a list. So I don't really have a question. I just challenged Jake to make a list. So good luck and Godspeed.